All right, so got to build a computer over here. Guy got a lot of orders going on and pretty awesome. And of course, the whole GPU market's kind of hurting it, but still, we got some good orders coming on and people are slowly getting video cards as they trickle in. But anyways, I had a build where, well, I had a client that came in and bought a computer from me, traded in his old computer, and part of the old computer trade-in was this cool case over here, which back in the day, July 2020, when this was released, this was the case that I really wanted. But it was back ordered and I could not get it. And for $89.99 when it came out, it was, to me, it seemed like a good bang for the buck. And it's a pretty cool case. Now, I'm not going to do an in-depth review on this. I actually just want to take this video and take the opportunity to show you guys that if you buy this case, there's a lot of things that you really need to think about and consider when buying it, primarily because the price for it now is $109 roughly on the old Amazon. And by the time you get all the cool features that this case supports, you're going to be sitting upwards of $240 to $250. So let's go ahead and let's talk about this case and what you need to keep in mind if you're going to buy it. So now this case has a lot of good, decent airflow, and this is the Lian Li Lancool 2, and they also have the mesh version of it, and which is better for airflow, but I kind of like the look of this one. And I'm kind of glad that I wasn't able to get this after going through this case. I used the Corsair 4000D, and this one is a little disappointing after I finally got my hands on it. So if you look, plenty of room up the top to add some radiators. All this right up here lights up, all cool RGB. And if we look on the back over here, which I thought is pretty awesome, it hides your cable management very well. So like if I take a look over here, if you can see, yeah, this is horrible. I'm actually on a time crunch and I'll clean this up a little bit better. But for those of you who don't care about cable management or just don't like doing cable management, check it out. Done. Done. And as you can see, it looks pretty nice in the back. Well, minus that. I need to kind of clean that up a little bit. But plenty of room for SSDs, hard disk drives, hides everything. Real nice. Very cool. The front also does the same thing over here. Good at hiding things in the bottom, as you can see, but we'll clean that up, I promise. And the doors swing wide open and it's easy to work on. Plenty of room over here if you're going to do a AIO or a custom water cooling loop. We just went with a stock cooler because this is kind of a budget build going on. So now let's talk about some of the things that you need to keep in mind when you buy this case if you want to live up to the expectations that Lian Li brags about. So number one, USB Type-C. One of the reasons why we buy a lot of these new cases is because we want that whole USB Type-C. Motherboards have support with it. We want it. This case does not have it. And at first I thought that somebody took it from this case and repurposed it for another build or whatever. No, it doesn't have it. If you want to have the USB Type-C, you got to pay $12. That's right, $12, which doesn't seem a lot, but when we go through all the other stuff that adds up, it gets quite expensive. So no USB Type-C, just a nice empty hole over here, which is kind of lame. So now let's move on to the next thing. Lian Li has a cool anti-sag feature for the video card. Video card sag, I mean, it is what it is. If you have 3 slot cooler, Joker's gonna sag a pretty good bit. But they have these little standoffs, and I'll put a picture somewhere around here where it just mounts onto the motherboard, and when it mounts on, it holds it from the back, and you don't have a rod sticking out over here just kind of messing up your aesthetic, and it holds it really well and gives it a nice clean look. Yeah, that doesn't come with that either. So how much does that cost? $21. We're starting to add up over here. Let's move on to the next thing they talk about that they don't give you. Hot swappable drives. That's right. That's actually a pretty cool feature. If you have a lot of hard drives or you do storage or you want to test drives over here and this is your computer that you just decide to do that for, one of the reasons why you'd probably buy this case is for that feature. Well, guys, take it out and I don't know if you can see in there, probably not, but it doesn't come with the swappable feature for that. That's right. You have to pay for that too. On the old Amazon, how much does it cost? $20. One of the cool features about this case, which you can't find this in a lot of cases that are coming out now, but if you wanted that, you need to spend $20 on the hot swappable feature for that. So another expense. Let's move on to another one. Now this one I can't gig Lian Li for this because I've yet to see a case that comes with this, but you pretty much always have to buy this if you want this feature. the whole riser cable thing. Now with this case, what's pretty cool is when you take out all these slots right over here, it leaves it wide open, and you could put the whole riser cable setup bracket, and it keeps the video card away from the glass over here, which won't suffocate it. It'll get some airflow, and it puts it back maybe a good, I don't know, 2-3 inches. I forget exactly what it is, but it moves it back and it gives you that cool look. I mean, I personally like that look, but if I wanted to get that look in this build, how much are we going to pay for it? $56. That's right, $56 for that. Kind of expensive. I mean, normally you're gonna have to pay that for any case, but this is starting to add up real quick. So let's talk about the last and final thing that Lian Li boasts about that you can do with this case that they don't give you. And the other feature they talk about is the LED strip. Now they have an LED strip that you can buy from them, also on the good old Amazon. It goes right over here, and it's a really good looking LED strip. I've actually seen builds with it. Gives you a nice ambiance and emits really nice clean light. You could hook it up to the little ecosphere over here where it will sync with your buttons over here, or you could just hook it up to the addressable RGB on your motherboard. But this don't come with it. If you want it, $12. That's right, $12. So now you've spent all this money on this case for all the features that they brag upon. Let's talk about the price and just a few things in my opinions and final thoughts about this. So this old case on the Amazon goes for about $109. You might get it cheaper, a couple of dollars here, depending on what site that you decide to buy it from. But after you spend all the money on this case actually ends up equating to a $230 case. That's right, $230 if you just want to make it the case that it could be. Now granted, you don't need the PCI Express riser one, but still, to get all the other features and some extra RGB, what, 170? And even if you don't want the RGB aspect of it, you're looking at 150. So yeah, you're gonna have to spend some money to use all the cool features on it. Now if you're one of those that don't care about that, then for $109 it's still a really good case, good airflow, has a nice aesthetic, little RGB action coming on over here, and I still think it's a good case despite not having those features. But considering the fact that you spent $109 for it and you have all these features to talk about, it gets expensive real quick when you could get some other cases that do come with at least a USB Type-C, like the Corsair 4000D or NZXT, which comes with their RGB fans and their little hubs, and you know what I mean? It gets expensive, and I guess that's just the way and the nature of it to kind of give you the better bang for the buck at the lower price for this. Now when you buy this, make sure you read the manuals and everything, because that's going to be the best way to learn that it doesn't come with this. Honestly, I don't expect them to give you the PCI Express riser cable for it, but guys, at least they could have given us the USB Type-C and the hot swappable. I think those are two features that they could have done it, and even if they would have marked up the case to about $120, I think it would have been a better bang for the buck and definitely be worth buying. So guys, if you're gonna buy this case, definitely consider those things. I mean, those two features alone, you're gonna end up spending $30, so now we're about $150 into this case, and I think those are two features that should have came with this case. So I hope this video helps. If you like it, definitely hit the like button. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you're not. And as always, we'll see what we come up with next.